Everyone, this is Smitha. I am glamsmitty on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and today I'm going to talk about an upcoming release from Bella Beaute Bar. This is the Secret Garden palette, and Secret Garden was actually the first palette that ever launched from Bella Beaute Bar, so this is an updated version of that palette. I believe that the color story is different and the formulas are also different. The matte formulas have continued to improve, and same with the shimmers, so this is super exciting. This palette is 25 pans, and like all of the recent palettes from Bella Beaute Bars, they are magnetic, so these can be removed with a spatula. And the pans are 26 millimeters, which is the standard kind of size for eyeshadow pans. So they can be mixed and matched with your other palettes, or you can use them to build your own palette, whatever you'd like to do. I think a lot of people really love that these palettes can be so customizable. And the price of this palette is $75. You can save 10% by using an affiliate code. I do have an affiliate code, which is glamsmitty, which thank you so much if you do use it, or you can use somebody else's code. I would recommend using somebody's code to save. So yeah, let's go ahead and hop into it. I did already, by the time you're seeing this video, share swatches on Instagram as well, or if they're not up, they will be up shortly. But I'm gonna go ahead and do swatches of the shiny and shifty shades, and then I'm gonna go ahead and create some looks. So all right, so I think the easiest way for me to show the shimmers is to swatch them in small batches of 3 or 4 shades so that I can show the textures and the shifts as best as I can. So starting off with the shade Gazebo, I did already do a swatch of this on my wrist, but I'm going to pick it up and show it a little bit closer to the camera. And this is a neutral kind of silver taupey shimmer. If you look, you can see that it has some subtle, what look like hollow specks in it. So really pretty, and this I would say is a pretty smooth shade. This is what it looks like on the back of my hand there. So next shade, the font is a little small for me to see, but it looks like this is Sun Shower, and that's in the second row. This is a little bit more of an emollient type of texture, but it looks to me like the type that will smooth out when applied. And that looks like it's a duochrome shade. So I'm seeing lilac and kind of a greenish, kind of light greenish type of shift. Next shade is Serenity, and this one is so pretty. This has to be a multi-chrome. Again, a sort of emollient texture, has a really strong yellow-green shift in it. So let's see what it looks like on the wrist. It's so pretty. Definitely my favorite shimmer so far. Next is the shade Flora, and again, this is a more emollient texture. This is sort of a brighter pink shade with a strong kind of yellow-orange shift in it. And there's what it looks like swatched on the back of my wrist there. Also looks like definitely is a multi-chrome. Next we have the shade Butterfly. This is super smooth to the touch and has like a yellow kind of greenish base to it. Here's what we're looking like swatched on the back of my hand. Looks like it has a really kind of fiery orange yellow shift in it. Next is the shade Daydream. More emollient texture. Looks like it's a duochrome. So to me, looks like it has a light pink base with a sort of light blue purple shift to it. Next shade is Oasis, and this is another sort of emollient duochrome shade. Looks like it's kind of a light green base with a bluish purple shift in it. You can see the texture when I'm swatching it. It's another one that does smooth out when you move it across the skin. And that is the shade Oasis. All right, now we're on our last three. So this is the shade Deserted. This feels quite smooth in texture and looks like it may have a black base, although I don't know if it's a true black base multi-chrome. Has a really strong, beautiful kind of green and teal shift in it. And then you can see some orange as well. So like I said, that was the shade Deserted. And then this is the shade Secrecy. And this has to be one of my favorite shimmers in the palette as well. This is a really kind of deep blue teal hollow, super unique. And I don't think I have any hollows that look like this. So smooth in texture again. Here's what it looks like swatched on the back of my hand here. And then the last shade is Imagine. Again, smooth in texture. Looks like it could be a black base multi-chrome. And here is what it looks like swatched on the back of my hand. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and show you what the whole palette looks swatched out now, and then we're gonna hop into my looks and do some wrap-up thoughts at the end. For the first look, I'm going to start off with the shade Escape and just kind of run this all over my eyelid to set the primer and to act as a lighter transition shade. And then I'm going to go in with the shade Ivy, and I'm deepening up the look, putting this into the crease and a little bit into the outer corner. And then Lock and Key. I focused this shade more on the outer corner to really build the depth of the look, and then ran it into the lower lash line. And then for my favorite part, packing Secrecy all over the lid with my fingertip. And here is the first completed look. For the second look, I wanted to do something a little bit lighter and brighter. I started off with the shade Water Lily. This is a little bit thinner in its formulation, so I had to build it up a little bit more, going back and forth. dipping back into the pan. Then I put Rose in the outer corner of the eyelid. This shade did happen to build up a lot quicker for me. I put Peony all over the lower lash line. And then I applied Flora all over my eyelid with my fingertip. Now this is one of the more emollient shades, but you can see that it smooths out well with my fingertip, and I did not have any fallout despite not using a tacky primer. And here's the second completed look. For the third look, I'm starting off with this shade Wonder, and I'm sweeping it all over the lid, just setting my eye primer in place, and then I'm gonna go in with the shade Hidden Door and build up a little bit of depth and place it as a transition shade, and then the shade Mahogany, which built super beautifully in the outer corner and added some depth, and then all over the lower lash line. And then, ooh, look at this shimmer. This is probably one of my favorite shades. This is Gazebo, and I tapped it all over the lid, and I placed Serenity on the inner corner for a little bit of a highlight. And this is the third completed look. All right, everyone, now I've had a chance to do swatches of the palette and show it in looks. I hope that this video has been helpful. I would still say that this is a first impression because I just got this palette in the mail today, but I really wanted to get the video done because I'll be out of town most of next week. In terms of my experience with the palette, I think it performed beautifully. I have no issues using Bella Beaute Bar mattes. I find them to be buildable, blendable, pigmented, all the things that I really like in mattes, beginner friendly. And I love the shimmers that we get in here. We get regular shimmers, we get duochromes, we get multichromes, hollows, a good range of textures. So all of that is really good. Is there anything that I would change about the palette? I might add a few deeper mattes, but I really still like the depth that we get in here. I found the pastels worked well on my skin tone even without a light base, although to get even more punch out of them, I would probably use a light base. I didn't get fallout, even though I didn't use a tacky primer, and I would use a tacky primer if I was, going to do this look and then go about my day. I just didn't have one near me when I was filming. And yeah, I think that's about it in terms of, should you get the palette? I'm not here to try to convince you to get it one way or another, but I do think it's a beautiful palette. And if you like this color story and you like Bella Beaute Bar's formula, or if you haven't tried it yet and you're curious, I do think that you're going to get a really good quality palette. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope you'll consider subscribing if you aren't subscribed yet. Like this video, and I do plan to continue to more consistently make videos, so let me know if there's anything else that you would like to see either in the indie or mainstream realm, and I will see you in my next one. Thanks so much for joining. Bye.